Trust what you say and that's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
On this week's show, we're going to get any of you hardcore bow hunters' hearts pumping when we show you why here in the Midwest, during the month of November, it's just hard to beat, because these giant whitetails just start coming out of the woodwork, and it's the absolute best time to get out there and make your bow hunting dreams come true.
Select Hunter. Select UA Package. Select Point. Select Transport. Select Accuracy Package. Select Nikon Optics.
Well, everybody, for the first time, unfortunately, I'm going to have to start a show off showing you a buck that I'm not going to be able to show you the footage on, and it just absolutely breaks my heart that mistakes happen. And you know, honestly, I film myself the majority of the time, and if I'm not filming myself, then it's a friend or it's Sharon or Little Dud. And you know, we don't have full-time camera people here. We just are a crew, people that love to do it. And last night, this buck, a buck I call Browse, everything happened absolutely perfect. Trick or treat, Halloween night, and he came out, battled a buck, and actually that part I was able to get on film. Came out, battled a buck, and I knew he was in the mood for fighting, gave him a grunt, and he turned and headed right down to the edge of the timber and just wrecked a cool cedar tree, made a scrape, got himself all in the mood to fight, and then I snort-wheezed at him, and he did the exact same thing that big buck, the gray ghost, did, and I was in the same exact tree stand. That's a good lesson for you too. A lot of times during the rut, these big mature bucks, they utilize the same terrain, they do the same type of thing, they make the same type of circles, they hold their does in those same areas. And this buck just turned and followed that cover, that switchgrass cover, right along the base of my tree, and made an awesome shot. I got my brand new Hoyt Charger, and I was super pumped to have the first kill with that bow. Turned to the camera and didn't see a red light and was just absolutely gutted. I feel like I let you guys down, feel like I let myself down, but you know, I just want to be honest with you. Mistakes happen, and when you're trying to do this thing and capture your moments yourself, you're doing two people's jobs. And you know, I'm trying to run the camera, run the focus, range him, make sure he gives me a good shot and make a good shot. And you know, it's just, I'm excited to be able to tag this buck. I really wanted him. This buck resembles a buck that I shot several years ago, a very cool buck, very, very similar, possibly same type of genetics. And that buck did the same thing. It was, I think it was actually October 30th. I saw that buck on a doe. I rattled at him. He turned, he came looking. I snort-wheezed him, and he came right broadside and made an awesome shot. And I couldn't be happier. This is a great buck. I'm sorry that I don't have the best footage to show you guys, but I wanted to do the buck justice. I wanted to do myself justice and just let all you guys see a tremendous deer, and a deer that I'm definitely proud of. And if any of you are out there filming yourself, unfortunately, it's a mistake that most likely is gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. And just my reminder, push the record button. Stay tuned.
Be sure to visit knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of
knock-on lifestyle clothing, as well as some awesome knock-on gear and accessories that I personally take to the field myself. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and I'll include a free signed photo. Also remember that all U.S. orders over 100 get free shipping. KnockOnArchery.com.
Dead Center.
On this Dead Center segment, I want to talk to you about when and how to practice properly, because I think a lot of people make the mistake of going out and just feeling like if they're shooting arrows that they're practicing, and I disagree with that. I don't feel that practice makes perfect. I feel that only perfect practice makes perfect. And it's important that you really focus on practicing, and especially, emphasizing on your groups and having your confidence in your shooting when the conditions are right to practice. A lot of people will just go outside no matter what's happening during the day and go out and shoot. And if you're in a real windy situation where you're getting blown all over the place, and it's going to be really hard for you to bear down and focus on making good shots with a surprise release. A lot of guys that go out and start practicing in like windy conditions, they're going to end up forcing themselves into getting some target panic just because of the fact that they're constantly blowing back and forth on that bullseye. And what you end up doing is you end up starting to just want to slam the trigger as your pin is going by that target, and that's not the proper way to practice. What you should do instead, if you're in a place where the wind is blowing all the time, then you should probably focus on practicing either early in the morning or late in the evening. Back at my place in Wisconsin, if I practiced within that first 30 minutes of daylight or dark, I always had a lot calmer weather and was able to go out and really make good shots and be able to keep my pin steady on the target. Now, another thing too is really take advantage of shooting some indoor archery. I'm not saying you need to go out and be an indoor target archer, but being able to get in a situation to where you can really have everything calm and focus on being able to look through a steady sight picture, it's going to allow you to really focus on being able to put your finger around a trigger and slowly pull until you have a surprise, unanticipated shot. It's difficult to get in that habit when you're getting blown all over the place. So really try to pick not only your time where you have a lot of focus on being able to shoot quality arrows, but also pick the right conditions. Go out when it's calm, and if you have to shoot when it's not calm, then really don't worry so much about your groups as you do your execution. If it is windy, then don't really worry about hitting the dead center of the target. You should really be more focused on having an absolute surprise and perfect shot execution, because in the long run, that's going to make you a much better archer.
Now we're going to join my good buddy Waylon, aka Stitch, on an awesome hunt for a buck that he calls B squared.
The weather doesn't know if it wants to rain, shine, the time's good, they should be rolling. We're looking for B squared. We've seen him in here before, passed him in here last year. Hope he shows up. Lock and roll, baby.
After a couple hours in the stand, they saw a really nice 8-pointer that most of us would have shot in a heartbeat, but Waylon really had his mind set on a buck he called B squared. If you're new into deer hunting, a valuable lesson for you to learn is that you should always pay attention to the deer that you have in front of you, because a lot of times they're going to let you know where another deer is coming from.
that? He's right there. High shoulder him. High shoulder. Unbelievable. That's B squared. Unbelievable.
Good shot, Waylon.
I can't believe it happened.
If you're looking to learn more about archery, be sure to tune in to Knock On Podcast. Knock On Podcast is a weekly talk show where I get in-depth with shooting techniques, equipment setup, and also give you a no BS review on some of the latest industry gear. Knock On Podcasts are great for listening on a road trip or that dreaded ride into work. Expand your archery knowledge with the highest level of world-class information on the airwaves. Knock On Podcast.
Guys, I want to talk a little bit about my setup. You know, I shot B squared this morning, just literally 150 yards back in the timber ridge. I own 3 acres here, and I put a food plot in the back. I literally watch the does come in the evenings, and I basically just leave them alone. I do not pressure them at all. I do not hunt them. I do not hunt my food plot. I just let them come in and feel comfortable here. Because you never know when that big buck is going to come in to check them does, because when the does are here, the bucks are going to eventually show up. 2 days ago, I filmed B squared running through my yard chasing one of the does out of the food plot. That just goes to show that they will feel comfortable coming in if the does are not harassed or bothered. They come out during daylight, they'll feed. And I shot B squared this morning, buck of a lifetime. You know, guys, if you got 3 acres, 5 acres, whatever you got, put some food on it. Don't harass the deer, don't hunt them, let them feel comfortable, and something good will happen.
Well, I'm on stand, hunting prime day of November, and good old Waylon, Stitch, Iceman, call me. I grabbed the sheds. Here's these 2 goofballs.
About time. What the heck?
I can't believe you got them.
Yeah, he's right down there.
B squared.
Didn't go anywhere.
That sucker.
This one. The one that I've passed
Ice.
last year.
Boom. Oh my gosh, Way.
Can you believe that? Look at this sucker.
I'm not believing it.
Look at that. B squared.
Holy smokes.
Unreal. I couldn't be happier. Finally played out, you know? I mean, this was the #1 hit list buck right here. He walks by this morning, me and Pete, 30 yards.
I was freezing for a while, and then it was wet.
Yeah, it's rained and it's been sunny and it's rained. It's been off and on. Now it's beautiful.
Now I'm ready to take about 5 layers off.
You know, but oh, I've had a lot of history with this deer. Passed him last year about 3 times. You know, have trail camera pictures, cutty back pictures of him. Was hoping to see him this year on the hoof out of the stand with Pete, and it happened this morning. It couldn't be. I'm just in awe still, you know.
Shot was a little high, but
yeah, the shot was high. The angle, you know, we're skying up there.
It's not bad for the angle.
No, the angle wasn't bad.
Just hold up those sheds.
There he was last year. Broke his 2 off, but you know, he put on a lot of mass,
Heck
a lot
yeah.
of time length.
How far are we from your home plot?
The house is literally 200 yards probably away from here. You know, I've seen him. Filmed him running through my driveway 2 days ago, Saturday, chasing a doe. He's been here, he lives here. I just can't believe that today was the day and everything worked out great. Unbelievable.
Yeah, how lucky are you to have 2 camera guys right now? Me and Pete both got tags.
That's how it works.
I'm up next.
Couldn't be happier.
That's
incredible deer.
Incredible deer.
A lot of history.
Wow. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks.
Definitely want some of that. Pete, Where's the ice at?
Later tonight.
Lone Wolves Field Recon.
It's going to be a really cool field recon segment just because this is actually a new stand that I've put in, but it's a stand that I've sat for a few years now. And in this particular area here, I'm in a dense cedar thicket. I'm in a huge draw, just a lot of cedars in here, and the deer move through here all throughout the day during that entire rut, and the bucks just love to cruise around in here with the does. It's a amazing place to hunt. It's down in the south, they'd call this just a big old thicket, and as any of you know, big bucks love thickets, but the problem with thickets is it's hard to really be able to concentrate those deer into a certain area. So what I've done was, about 2 weeks ago, I came in here with a chainsaw and I have dropped literally every nasty tree that was in here. These locust trees, hedge trees, I've literally just folded them over and made this area right here just a thick mess. I've also went through and made this old fence line here a thick mess. I've opened up one hole in my fence right there, and a lot of deer are starting to use this. I came in here with a mower, I mowed a path so that the deer now have a pretty clear navigation in here. Now the last step, what I'm gonna do, because what I'm worried about in here is these deer getting downwind of me or passing just outside of the area that I've cleared out and been able to shoot. So what I'm going to do is I've actually welded some fence posts together, and I went to my local farm and fleet and got 7-foot plastic snow fence. So I'm going to go ahead and knock these posts into the ground, and I'm going to put up a 7-foot fence, plastic fence, from the corner of my fence line right to the base of my tree. So instead of these deer being able to go on either that side of me or this side of me, which is making, I'm pretty much giving up one side or the other because of the wind, it's now going to make any of these deer traveling north or south, they're going to realize that this little fence, it's only going to be about 25 yards from there to there, but instead of these deer being able to go on 25 yards to the right of me or to the left of me, they're now going to have to funnel right around the front of my stand. And again, I'm a big fan of funnels and pinch downs. The last thing I'm doing here is using some orange flagging tape just to mark this so that when these deer approach it for the first time, they're going to at least look at it and realize what it is, so that you don't end up getting something hung up in here. But this is a really cool technique. There's my tree right up there, and then over in here you can see the orange ribbon. That's that 7-foot plastic fencing that we just put up. So, you know, this whole, you can see this, just, we've cut off this whole corridor right here because this is just a thick mess. You can see there's a brand new rub right there. Brand new rub, which is a great sign. But there's also a major crossing right here where I cut my old line fence and I cleared out a bunch of that timber. So these deer are just funneling right past the front of that stand. They're not able to go through that thick part where I can't get a shot, and they're gonna go right through there. So sometimes if you don't have the neck downs and the funnels, you create that, especially in those thick areas. This is a really good way to go from seeing deer to killing deer.
A few days after Phil and Waylon get his shot at B-squared, Pete got an awesome shot at a buck on his home place. And I know that these two guys are really pumped about this deer. They had hunted hard all year together to get their first bucks on film.
Hunting my farm today.
I had this buck come through, came through pretty quick. Didn't get a lot of footage on him. Put a good shot on him. He's a good solid deer. He's got flyers, points everywhere. First deer I've harvested on my place this year. Proud of him. Put a lot of hard work in that farm, trying to get everything ready for this year, this rut. Everything went well. It was a good hunt.